Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is F1 2018. We're in the Manager Challenge mode. It's week 44 of competition. This is the fourth week of the series. Still in season number 1. And I'm on to Germany. We're heading to Hockenheim. My new team target is to finish 15th or better. I've got 2 weeks to do it. 400 resource points. And that one can be achieved. Hopefully. It's going to be raining hard during qualifying, so that's going to make things interesting. And in terms of the development update, I have not had an upgrade in the last couple of weeks, so we have been caught by Toro Rosso. McLaren has pulled away. Force India is also long gone. And Williams has made up a little bit of ground. So in that performance comparison, you can see just how tight it is at the bottom. But we are some ways off the midfield still. True midfield, anyway. But I'm close to having enough points for the next upgrade, so hopefully in my 3 flying practice laps I can pick up some R&D points, which I did not do terribly well in our last race, routing out the last week's episode in Silverstone.
And welcome to Hockenheim, home of the German Grand Prix, for today's practice session. It's a big weekend for a number of our top drivers as they look for success on home soil. We'll be getting...
Alright, let's go ahead and get to it. Anyway, Silverstone, last race, I had a really poor practice session, and they were so close, so close. First 2 times to green, the third time so close to purple, and little mistakes, big mistakes, whichever it was, cost me massively. Now, I have been here only once, of course. This track was not in the F1 2017 game, so I did not pick up any experience there. So my career mode this year is the only time that I've been there. I raced quite well before having major issues at the end that cost me severely on that one, and I'm getting a ton of oversteer here. Whoa. Kept it moving at least. Not stuck. This is going to be costly heading into the program as I'm covered in gravel at the moment. Woo-hoo-hoo, all over the place. Now, if you are new to this mode, this is still within career mode. It's just a creative challenge is all. It's not a separate mode that the game came up with here recently. Come on. I forgot that they misrepresent that. You have to brake early on that turn. Going to be costly. Otherwise, I'm looking at purple. Now, I don't know. I should definitely at least be green here. I'm almost green now. Ooh, that was close. Almost missed that apex. Good thing they weren't looking for an apex there, because I missed that one. Just short of purple, but I at least got green.
Let's try and perfect each turn.
Alright, so if you're not familiar with this challenge mode, what I'm doing is I have certain limitations that make it really challenging. The first limitation is I only get 3 flying laps in all of practice, which means it's impossible to complete the program. And if you've ever played in career mode here, if that's your thing, you know that practice is so important. to your success. Unless you play on a really, really low AI difficulty level where you could just overcome, and regardless of how good your car is, if you play on a higher difficulty level, you're just not going to make it. Ooh, oversteer. Oh, massive oversteer coming out of the corner there, and I just lost all my time. Now I'm in the negative. Are you kidding me? Alright, back in the good. I need to get that ERS if I'm going to get it to purple. Yes, purple! Ah, did it. Alright, just at the end, got it all the way down to none and it picked up quick. Alright, so 3 flying laps is all I get, which means I'm getting limited R&D points. It also hurts my team reputation quite a bit doing that. That was a good 90 points picked up there, and we head to our third one. This season at least, this car, this Sauber, is really, really bad. And it's raining! It is raining! Oh my goodness. I'm running a quali sim here in the rain. I mean, I guess this is good for our one-shot qualifying, which will be in the rain. Good warm-up for that, but this could be dangerous, especially on what they're looking for. How am I going to make the time that I need? Well, I figured turn 1 out again. This is one place where I really make good time. Fast sector 1, 6/10 up at the moment, so I'm doing really good on that. Anyway, so limited R&D points, which makes the game that much tougher, and makes it hard to keep up the reputation. And then it's one-shot qualifying, meaning every car gets 1 lap, and you get whatever time you get, and you start where you start. It's ghosted. It's all considered at the exact same time. Track conditions are definitely worsening right now. Still a second up though. Oof, that little bit of curving. I don't know if you noticed, but I was starting to oversteer massively. Good lap, 1.4.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of that.
And that's fastest in the practice session. Of course, nobody else is running their qualifying pace. But that's 5th on estimated time, and that's despite the track worsening as I went on.
Best
So
lap so far is
pretty good points there.
15.7.
225. And then we skip straight on to qualifying for that one-shot qualifying. Fastest in the session by 1.3 seconds.
Vettel
Wow.
and Max Verstappen.
Anyway, the last phase, I simulate the race. So it's all AI control. It's all being managed.
Would you say the rivalry is friendly, or are things a bit tempestuous?
It's friendly. Team likes sportsmanship.
You had an incredible pace in practice. Would you say that you're pretty comfortable with the car?
She handles beautifully on this track.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Now, you could probably tell based on my pace, The AI difficulty is not maxed out, but with the challenge that I have on already, I didn't need that much bigger of a challenge. So AI difficulty is set to 80. In my career mode, I'm running on 87. So we're talking about a pretty small margin. So 280 points picked up, not the greatest session, but a pretty decent one. That gives me 1,300 overall, and that will be quite beneficial because I have an upgrade that I think I'm going to apply here real quick. Weather forecast, yes. Rain, rain. Powertrain, yes. 1040. This is going to really boost us up. The engine, this will put us up into that upper area. It's going to take a few weeks, though. And there's a decent chance that it's going to fail, but we'll take that chance. Next up, we're going to look to aero again. Let's see, front wing gurney flap, that's drag. This one's downforce, that's going to help us turn. So 560, that's our next upgrade. That's the direction I'm going to go. So I only need 300 to get there. 2 upgrades in progress. One due in Italy, the other one due in Hungary. And we're on to qualifying.
Welcome to Germany for today's qualifying session at the famous Hockenheim ring. The pit lane lights will turn green in the next minute or two to signify the start of qualifying.
All right, we're in the wet, heavy wet. It's raining hard. And I see I'm still struggling for grip there. I was sliding back and forth, left, right, trying to find the grip. And wow, look how slippery it is. This is crazy how wet the track is right now. What? No DRS? Haha, just kidding. Definitely no DRS. This is insane. It's almost like monsoon conditions. Look at that rain. You can see it just coming down. And it's, what do you call this? A squall? A little back and forth there at the front. Hamilton has been on top. Somebody else momentarily challenged him there for the lead, but it looks like he's recovered that for now. But I am quite close here. Of course, this is very different in the wets than it was with the dry track. I just tapped that curb and almost went around. There's Vettel. Vettel on top now over Hamilton. Hamilton's led this whole way through that corner. Vettel overtook him. And I'm still pretty darn close. Ooh, you can see me sliding back and forth there. Lost some time on that last turn. That drops me all the way to 16th. Ouch. Ouch, I thought I had a much better time than that. I thought I was going to be in the top 10, but I slid a lot. I lost half a second on the final turn at least. 1.4 would have put me up 5 spots.
We'll be back tomorrow when the Grand Prix itself gets underway.
So Vettel did overtake Hamilton. Hamilton's going to be P2. Raikkonen, Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Leclerc in 12th. I'm in 16th. My rival Lance Stroll in 19th. The Williams well behind, more than a second slower. And like I said, I lost at least a half a second on the final, off the final corner as I was sliding back and forth. So 5 points up on Stroll, and Leclerc's almost got me beat. $100 points for the session, 365 overall. Little boost to the team reputation.
Well done. Very solid results. You're looking good for the race.
How good are we looking?
So then, it's time to see how this
Not so
result
good.
affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a good result.
Vettel
for
gets another win.
Sebastian Vettel, who
Hamilton
moves
is 8th,
further
second.
ahead at the
Raikkonen,
top of
Ricardo,
the table.
Bottas,
Moving
Verstappen.
on to the driver of the
Hulkenberg,
day
best of
then.
the rest.
Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Let me guess.
My
Alonso
driver
or
of the day
Leclerc?
was Charles Leclerc. He did a cracking job moving through the field, just highlighting why he's so highly rated in the paddock.
On to the constructors then. Ferrari extend their lead at
Ooh,
the top of the championship.
Gosh.
After all this
18th.
drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
18th. That's just ridiculous. You see the difference in times. I mean, how much slower they make me. Stroll was faster than me in a car that's much slower. He was 2 laps down, and he still ended up faster than me. But he had 3 stops, so maybe he put on fresh tires at the end to run a bit faster. Could have an impact there. Vettel pulls out to 60 points now over Hamilton, with Raikkonen 3rd. Bottas all the way down at 5th in the point standings. Right now, the best of the rest is Hulkenberg, 20 points ahead of his teammate. In the Constructors, it's Ferrari by a solid 72-point lead, with Renault best of the rest, Force India, and McLaren. Haas all the way down in 7th, despite having a pretty good car. And my team remains in 8th, out of the trio at the bottom. Leclerc is still the only one to score any points. That hurt. I didn't gain anything there. Lost a couple points to Leclerc. He's going to win it next week. Still 5 up on Stroll, even though we finished ahead of him. Didn't gain anything. And only 56 points for the race, so we are only at 421. That is a boost to the team rep, at least a little bit, though. And we inch a little closer towards a veteran. And I still feel that that's got to have something to do with my race position in simulating. Because we can definitely see that I'm a lot closer to Leclerc than I was early in the season. So it's not just
we had a
the
major
car.
issue on the production line
Uh-oh.
earlier this week, so the entire development package for this weekend has failed. Check your workstation for the details.
That's a big one too. That's going to be costly to redo the weight reduction. That was a major upgrade, so that's going to be costly. It looks like we are going to have a wet and then drying track over the course of the race, but sunny race weekend, and we're heading to Hungary, to the Hungaroring.
I've been in touch with some contacts at Williams, and they think your attitude and results might be a good fit for their team. We can talk to them at our next contract review if you're interested.
Ooh, my value's gone up
Let's
a
see
bit.
what kind
That
of
helps.
offer they can put on the table.
$500. I should be able to get that this week, and then it'll be done next week for sure. Alright, so we head into Hungary now.
Welcome to the Hungaroring for this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix. But before we start to worry about race day, let's focus on today's practice, which is about to begin.
Alright, track acclimatization, where I'm always going to start. Sure looks like it's raining, but I don't see any raindrops, so it's just very overcast. This is a tough track, but it's one that I run okay on. It does have some difficult corners for me on the gamepad, as they're long, sweeping high-speed corners. And if I can remember, I need to take a look at the engine after the... Oh, no. Woo! It was close. Almost missed it. Just hit the gate there. It did cost me some time, knocking me down to green, but... Oh! Oh! Well, double red there. I could still get green, actually, but I have no traction now. It gives me red even though I go right through the middle of the gate. The speed must have been way too low, but it's a very low speed corner anyway, so I got 3 reds because of 1 loss of traction. Whoa, again! Ugh, there is no traction for this car right now. I really need to load a setup, which actually I think I have. Starting in Hungary, in my career mode, I started using setups.
Speed up a bit.
I picked up 5 or 10 points there. 10 points in team objectives, but I failed there. However, I think I have a setup. I do. Alright. I'll take that. That should help a little bit, huh? And let's...
I know it's tempting to focus entirely on the race, but we should
back
put a
out
bit
there.
of time aside to
Try
run the
that again.
qualifying sim program. Try to run it before the end of FP3 if you can.
It's meant for the Williams, but two cars at the back of the grid should suit both of us. Yeah, already. I couldn't get through that corner last time. A little too early on the gas there.
We're slow through the following corners.
All of them. I love how we're slow through the following corners. And he doesn't even tell me which ones, just every corner. This is much better, by the way. Oh! I ended up with oversteer off that curb. I need to stay off that curb. Lucky I didn't go around there. This is definitely a track that takes a few laps to get used to. I just missed that gate. A little too hot through there. Pushed off the apex. Well, definitely not going to get purple here, but I should have green. Yes, there's green.
That's looking good. Now let's try for purple.
So that's already 2 flying laps and no purples, just 1 green. Hurting a little bit there. Let's do the Ers Management. Hearing a bit of a rattle in the engine, so I do need to get this checked out after practice. Alright, so we can see I'm quickly pushing through green. Of course, my time is also down just a little bit at the moment. 10th off the pace. But we've already recovered that now. Ooh. Oh, no. I recovered not well enough, though. I'm down half a second now. That was my fault. I touched the grass. And it cost me a half a second. Plus, it totally put me off the racing line for the next couple turns, which turned half a second into 1 second. I've made up a good chunk of that time, but it's not going to be enough. And even though I'm hitting purple, I missed out by half a second. So I lost 1 full second, at least about 1.2, because I touched the grass and got wide, and then it messed up my rhythm section. So I lost at least 1.2 seconds, and all I get is 50 points. Ouch. Ouch.
Our best lap so far is a 1:24.3.
Let's go power unit. Yeah, look at that. There's definitely some wear. So you're at 66. I need to change that. We'll fit that. Yes, we'll do that now. 83. Ouch. GUK, we'll fix that. The others are probably good. 54? We'll save that for one more race. There you go. And we skipped qualifying. Hamilton's fastest in practice. $115. That's up to 600 now. Hurts the team reputation though, as I struggled there. Alright, let's get back into that R&D and get that part ordered. 500. It'll be ready next week in Belgium. Meanwhile, those two parts are pending.
The excitement is starting to build here at the Hungaroring as the lights are about to go green for today's qualifying session.
Is the excitement building?
Some cars out on track
I thought Dread was building, for me anyway. I've had a bad race weekend so far. Very bad race weekend so far. How's that gearbox looking? 5 races done. Only 51% wear, so we're good on that. I don't know why it still says pending on those. Well, I don't hear the rattle in the engine anymore, so I think those parts got put on. Let's see, title contenders fighting over the lead in the lap so far. Still close. Hamilton leading the way. Looks like Hamilton's on pole. Meanwhile, I'm putting in a pretty solid time here. I never was far behind. 9th. All right, into the top 10. Take that.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, who are Hamilton, Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo. With qualifying complete,
Hamilton and Vettel
all that remains is the main
back and
event.
forth for quite a
We'll be
while
live and
on that lap,
uninterrupted for the Grand
but
Prix
then it was all
tomorrow,
Hamilton
so make
towards
sure
the
you
end, but
join
Vettel
us then.
stayed pretty close. Ricardo was also really close behind, just a 10th back, and then you get Raikkonen, Verstappen, Bottas. So Mercedes first and last of the top 3 teams. Perez best of the rest here. I was pretty close to that in P9 after a terrible start to the weekend. I end up qualifying in P9. I knew I had a lap in me. It just took a little while to find it. Leclerc goes 15th, and Stroll all the way down in 18th. Excuse me. Alright, so I pick up, I'm going to have to get more points than is possible. So Leclerc's going to win that rivalry, this race, but I'm now 6 ahead of Stroll. $150. Team rep, come on, build, build, build. Okay, good.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should
Good.
be in with a good...
Are we going to actually have a good race?
after this round
The
of
AI
the
never
World
does.
Championship,
There you go,
here's how things
15th,
look in the driver's
outside of the top
table. It's a
14.
good result for
Vettel
Sebastian
wins
Vettel, who
again.
moves further ahead.
Ricardo
Top
on a
of the table.
two-stopper
Now then,
takes
Anthony Davidson,
second.
Who was your driver of the day?
Probably Carlos Sainz. You know, strong pace, good work with the strategy, just a very complete drive, I think.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors Championship. Ferrari extend their lead at the top of the championship. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
Renaults take best of the rest, followed by Haas to get into the rest of the points. And I'm nowhere to be seen. 18th, just ahead of Stroll. 2 laps down. 0.6 of a second worse than Leclerc's best. I did at least beat Stroll, but you gotta be kidding me. I mean, at some point, I need a stroke of luck, and I'm not getting it. My AI is pitiful. Vettel 75 points ahead. It looks like he's going to run away with the championship this season, especially when the Ferrari is on top of the R&D levels. And in the Constructors, it's now 91 points ahead of Mercedes. This is going to hurt too, because Leclerc just won this rivalry. But I'm +8 on Stroll with 8 points to go. So in the next 2 races, I should be able to win that one if I still have a job after today. Couldn't finish 15th or better, so I failed the goal and lose the rivalry in the same weekend after qualifying 9th. That hurt a lot. That really hurt a lot. Do not fire me. Please do not fire me. Oh, and contract. And it's right as we go to contract negotiations too. Not fired though. Not fired. Still have a job. My value is a lot higher than it was, so...
It's time for us to renegotiate your contract. Here you can see the current deal. Once negotiations begin, the team will make you an offer. You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms.
Alright, this is what I had last time, plus this minor upgrade time reduced by a week. We'll try that. My value is definitely higher. It was higher.
All right,
Oh.
the terms have been agreed. All
Okay.
that's left is to sign the paperwork. You'll be on this new deal from the next race weekend.
I could have asked for more.
We've received invitations to new historic events. You'll be able to choose whether or not to participate before the end of this weekend.
Yes. Put on a new gearbox. As we head to Spa. And as long as I can get through Eau Rouge, I can do a pretty good job at Spa.
The new parts have arrived from the factory without issue. They'll be fitted to the car in time for the next session.
Right, goals update. A little better this time. 3 Drivers' Championship points instead of 6. But I still haven't been in the points once. My AI hasn't even been close, really, have they? Alright, so the weight reduction is done. I was thinking I was going to have the engine upgrade this week also, but it looks like it's going to be next week. Next year's regulations. Decathlon. Charles, some important information for you too. Looks like we're probably going to have some regulation changes next year. We think this will affect multiple departments, but we aren't sure which ones. Be cautious when it comes to investing in upgrades, as we may have to start adapting them for next year if and when these changes are confirmed. Multiple departments. I hope that reliability is one of those. Otherwise, I'm in a bit of trouble because I don't pick up very many R&D points, as you already know.
I've been in touch with some contacts at Williams, and they think your attitude and results might be a good fit for their team.
Yes, Williams likes me.
We can
Okay,
talk
I
to
got
them
it,
at our
Emma.
next contract review if you're interested.
No,
Let's see
I'm
what
not.
kind of offer they can put on the table.
So, no more upgrades coming for a little while. Besides, at Monza, we're going to get this engine power upgrade hopefully completed. But otherwise, I'm going to hold off until we know what to do, where to go. And let's see, 13, 8%, 64. That one might need to be changed out this week. So we'll put on that after practice. It's only a few more laps, but yeah, let's just do it. Put it on before we forget. So let's get to it. One more race for this week.
We've arrived in Belgium for the next instalment on the Formula One calendar. It'll come as no surprise to many that it's currently raining here in the Ardennes countryside. Spa, of course, is infamous for its unpredictable weather patterns.
And massive crashes on
Okay then, we've
On the
fitted
start
some new
finish line.
parts for this session. Hopefully they'll help you squeeze a bit more pace from the car.
Alright, so we do have that major upgrade in the weight reduction, so at least the car is a little bit better. But you can see we're on intermediates, and that's going to make this challenging. So I head out for my flying lap for a track acclimatization, except for I didn't... hold on. Return to garage. I didn't run a flying lap. Okay. Okay.
Right, I'll get these changes made.
Now we'll head on to track with my car setup. Makes a difference. Oh, wow. Right off the bat. I can't even keep the car straight. It's so wet. And I crashed.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay.
Right off the bat, it literally spun me out. We'll retire from session. I still get 3 flying laps if I can get them, but we're going to have to head on to free practice 2. Team's not going to be very happy with that
As all the cars are now
crash.
over the line, your top 3 again are
It just
Raikkonen,
launched and
Verstappen,
it
and
launched me
Daniel
straight into the wall.
Ricciardo. That's it for practice then. We'll see.
Wow. That was not intermediate conditions at all.
Well, things didn't really go your way today. Tell us what happened. What caused that issue in practice? A new component?
Let's talk about durability, because I don't care if they don't like me.
Are you hoping things clear up before qualifying?
I hope so, yeah.
There are rumours that you're looking for a contract with another team.
No.
Is there any truth to that?
Yes, thank you, Sauber, for being
Great.
happy
Well,
that
that's
I'm
everything.
not talking to McLaren. By the way, I would never go to McLaren. You've heard this before. I grew up in the US, so I didn't grow up with Formula One. Yes, Michael Schumacher, idolize him. I was an F1 fan, even though I didn't get to see F1. So my team reputation was countered. So the crash hurt, but that answer saved it, so I at least stayed the same. That's good.
That was a nasty incident. Glad to see you're no worse for.
That was a nasty incident. I didn't even get a chance. It just launched me straight into the wall. I didn't even turn the wheel. I just straight into the wall. Yay. Anyway. It's only been in the last handful of years where the US has really picked up F1 coverage. Not only races, but then races, qualifying, and all the practice sessions are now finally something that we get over here. And we're out on the softs. So we're getting a dry FP2. That's good for me. Anyway, so it's only been in the last, really the turbo hybrid era, that I've gotten a chance to watch much F1, other than the little bits and pieces that I have for the last 25, 30 years. So, with that in mind, I didn't see Fernando Alonso when he was winning championships. Never saw him race as a champion winner. All I've seen is his time essentially with McLaren, and him, albeit being a good driver, where he's obviously done better than the car could do, and I clearly recognize the talent. All I've seen is the attitude. The guy's got a massive attitude, major prima donna, and don't understand why he's got such a huge fan base, because there's been little to like about Fernando Alonso in the last half dozen years. So I get what he did earlier in his career earned him a massive fan base, but what he's done late in his career has not been impressive by any means. I get that he's a quality driver, but I don't like the attitude. It's the same that I could say about Vettel, really, if we're on the subject. Get in there? Oh, come on. That one I missed. I thought it was the same corner, too. Dang it. Alright, focus on the track. Not the topic of conversation. Lots of purples. Should at least get me green. And there we go. We made green.
Good work. You seem to have a solid handle on the lap. Let's try and perfect.
Got green at least. Anyway, same with Vettel. I know he's won 4 championships. But he's underperformed at Ferrari, for sure. And his incident at Baku
So far, our
was
fastest lap is a
just
1 minute
despicable.
53.5.
As was Perez, for that matter, just recently at Singapore. That was just as bad. In fact, that was live racing when he did that one. That wasn't even under a safety car or anything. That hot-headed moment that he had. Oof. Gosh, I tried to hit DRS, it didn't go. I hit it too early. I had to hit it a second time, so in the meantime, didn't shift. Poor first corner here. There we go, didn't lose it through Eau Rouge. Still ahead on time, that's good. Normally I'm a little behind here because I have to get off the gas a little bit in Eau Rouge. Otherwise I lose traction at like every time. I mean, the moment you switch from downhill to uphill. Come on, how am I 2/10 down? 3/10 down now, come on. Losing lots of time here. Oh man. This car does not drive the same as the Williams does at all. So the setup that I had fought and worked for there. And there we go. I just ruined my team, my session. I'd gotten out of it too, and I still couldn't even fix that. And that is a flying lap, definitely. That's going to kill the reputation. Real life, that would probably be it. I'd probably be released right there.
An interesting practice session there then.
Would be
Let's
2
remind
crashes
ourselves of the top 3. Who
here.
are Vettel, Bottas.
I have 1 flying lap left to do in FP3.
Bad luck out there today. What do you think went wrong?
No, that was all me.
Not the cleanest practice. Are you still getting a feel for the track?
No comment. Those are both going to go negative.
How does a car handle in the wet? Do you have any worries going into the race and qualifying?
She still handles like a dream. Like a dream where it doesn't.
Well, thanks anyway.
Yeah, I didn't answer the one question you wanted me to. Oh, that was miserable. I'm having a bad time here. At a track that I'm generally good at, but this setup definitely is not the same. These cars are a little bit too different, even though they're both back markers. And you really need it on here, and it's not. So I'm struggling. I'm fighting it, and I'm losing that fight. What's that team reputation? Oh, that didn't go down too much, at least. 1 lap left. Oh, and it's raining again. Is it? It looks like it is. Let's try the ERS again. Oh man, this has been rough. And yeah, look at those track conditions. Alright. Talk less. Drive straight more. Turn corners better. That sort of thing. That's the objective this time. Two-tenths up already. 4/10 up now. Not as much momentum lost through here. But in the end it is, because I just could not accelerate. So I ended up right on the time. Gosh. Better than that through there. Not down by many tenths, but I'm still down. I'm way into purple now, so stick that up. But here's where I messed it up, and such a high-speed corner that if you can't do it flat out on the joystick, you're screwed, and that's what happened to me last time. Much better lap, and I'm green at the moment. 3/10 up. There we go. That's good. That's purple. I needed that. I needed that big time. That was 90 points that I just got there after just a horrible run in FP1, FP2.
Okay, as you know, this is the third and final practice session of the weekend. If we want to run our qualifying sim program, and I strongly...
Quick look at the classification at the end of the session then. Here he is.
Claire was 8th. Good for him. No change in reputation. Ryan qualified. Thank you. Thank you very much. I need that. Supposed to have struggled since Monaco.
It's qualifying time at Spa, one of the mightiest tracks on the Formula One calendar.
Alright, based on time, let's get this thing done. Ah, that's what happens here.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
That's what happens here. I let off just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Not enough. And for the third time in 4 chances, I crashed out. Crap.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top
Hamilton,
three.
Vettel,
Hamilton,
Bottas.
Vettel, and Valtteri Bottas. Goodbye for now then, but we're...
That hurt. That really hurt. I was trying to stay on it just a little bit more as it was qualifying, knowing that it would make 3 or 4 tenths of a second difference. I really cost myself there. And that hurt that team reputation even more.
Tough luck there. It's not quite where we'd want to be on the grid, but chin up, it's not the end of the world.
Close to it. I'm going to need a good
And
race
now
result
let's
here.
take a look at the
Hamilton
driver's
wins,
stand.
Vettel second,
Well, the
Ricciardo
gap at the top of
third,
the championship has been cut
Hulkenberg
down
best of the
after a
rest.
difficult race today for our championship
Perez
leader.
up to
And now I'd
8th
like to
after
ask
starting
you,
17th.
Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Difficult call, Crofty, but I'd like to say Sergio Perez. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of his tyres, and he showed that here today.
And now let's take a look at the Constructors Standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another...
Well, that was a disaster of a weekend. Ready to move on from that one. That hurt. I do finish above Stroll, but he gets the fastest lap, so I don't gain anything on him. I'm 5 points away, so next race weekend should just about be enough to finish off Lance Stroll. But in terms of a job, we'll see. Do I even have a job after this weekend? Reputation goes up for that finish. That helps. That helps. Inch a little closer towards veteran. And next up is Monza. There are some upgrades coming. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best.
We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, so the entire
And no
development
upgrade.
package for this weekend has failed. Check your workstation for the details.
Remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe. And tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.